Hey, it has been a while. So a whole lot has happened since I last spoke with you guys. I'm sorry that it's been a while since I've really done big updates on the channel and videos, as you guys might have noticed. So thought it'd be good to talk about a couple things. But first of all, huge thank you for this. I cannot thank you guys enough. So I actually recorded an unboxing video of unboxing this, and I never do unboxing videos, but I thought I would because this was special enough to me. And then I recorded a bunch of footage and forgot to export the footage of me doing the unboxing, and I accidentally deleted that video. So yeah, I don't have that anymore. Whoops. But thank you so much. I figure the first thing that I'll do is this is going to be a video first talking about that, then some channel update stuff. So I figure first I'll talk about the 100,000, which is honestly something I never thought that I would reach. So when I first started my channel, I was shocked when I got 1,000 subscribers. That to me blew my mind. Let alone 10,000 and then 100. I never thought that would be the case. When I first moved out to Los Angeles, my dream was to work for G4, and my dream was to be a host for them. And they basically fell apart. I got an internship there, and they fell apart right after I got my internship. And I was kind of struggling figuring out what to do. I started a network called Game Control, and the main show on it was called Game Control Live. And I thought when I started Dave Control, which was originally called Dave Control Live, because Dave Control was actually taken. That's why it was called Dave Control Live. And I just thought, okay, I'll call it after our show, which was Game Control Live. I thought Game Control would be the thing that I was trying to take off. I thought for me, this would be my way to start a gaming network. And Dave Control was just something I did for fun because I happened to love King's Field and the Soul series at the time. I mean, I still love the Soul series, but that's what I wanted to talk about. And I wanted to just talk about games that I wanted to talk about and not make such a network style thing. I just wanted to do my own thoughts. And I never thought that I'd be able to have a channel that I did by myself or something I did by myself take off like that. I always thought as part of a collective, I'd be a piece in that collective. I never thought people would subscribe for me and the content that just I made. So really, it shocked me a lot. And honestly, when I first had my first video that got big, it was, I guess the first one that got big was actually the 5 strangest things in Dark Souls. And the reception was less than positive. It's actually still one of my least liked videos on this channel, I think. But it got me a number of subscribers, and one of those, at least I think it was from that, maybe it was from these talks that I had where I got to play Dark Souls 2 early at E3. Maybe it was from that. A guy reached out to me named MS Painting. That was his username, and he had a bunch of really cool lore theories I hadn't seen before, particularly on Nito. So I thought it'd be fun to make a lore video about Nito, and I never thought of myself as being able to at all make videos that rivaled with Epic Name Bro or Vadi Vidya. And back then, that was when Epic Name Bro was huge. Vadi was big, but he was more starting in a way. I was just like, there's no way. I'll make this video in the style that I like, which is the more history presentation in a sense, because Vadi's at the time was more dramatic. Epic Name Bro's style was more, I'm going to sit down and have a chat with you guys. So I did a more history presentation, and it blew up, and I didn't know what to do. And when I say that, I mean, I remember the day that I started getting all these subscribers from it and views, and I kept checking my phone, this can't be right. I was nervous because, to me, this Nito video that I made, a lot of the theories weren't necessarily my own. They were ones that someone had helped me write, which is why I credited him in the video. Ultimately, I wrote the video, but, it was a lot of his theories. So it was I'll never be able to replicate this. Everyone's going to think I'm a fraud. I'm never going to be able to do this again. I was nervous when I saw those numbers tick up. It was exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. So I decided to once a week make a lore video and kind of combine, and I talked to him a lot for theories, and I tried to really dig into it as much as I could because I enjoy puzzle solving, and the lore and story of these games are ultimately puzzles that you piece together, which I really like. And I never thought that that would take off the way it did, and they just kept on working, and it was so surprising and shocking to me, and just thank you all for that. I thought about what I was going to do when I hit 100,000 subscribers. I was thinking, I always like the Draw My Life trend, but that's been dead for a long time. And just because of the state of my channel recently, this just happened to make the most sense, is doing this just sit down and chat style video, even though this is awkward in a way for me because I never make videos like this for the most part. A lot of them are more scripted, so it's definitely very different for me. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to go over the history and the hurdles and all that of the channel. It's thanks to you guys that I've been able to really realize my dreams in a lot of ways. Like, it was my goal and ambition, and I was always honed in on trying to go for working in the games industry. I double majored in video game design and computer science. In college, I started shifting gears and working for a network called Game Zombie, where I did essentially making YouTube videos and hosting and creating content and writing. And then that was when I was like, actually, I really like that. Maybe I'd want to work for G4 or a network like that. And now I actually work for GameSpot, so I do that, which is crazy. But before that, Polaris and just the YouTube channel itself has just been such a wild ride. Like, I remember Dark Souls 2, the Let's Plays were so fun. And that was another thing, too. It's just the Let's Plays, even though I don't do them as much, it was so fun connecting with you guys about something that I loved and you guys loved. And then Bloodborne, like, it was wild to me that series, the first video got, I think, like 100,000 views in that Let's Play series, and then 50,000 for the next one. I think I had like 10 to 20,000 people watching, and that was just so crazy, and it was so cool in the sense of like, wow, I can like have this discussion on each video, and then the next episode I talk to you guys and I talk about the theories people presented me with and talk about in the next episode and make more. And it was just like such a fun period of time that I got to experience with the channel. And other things I remember are, I had a friend, and she's still a friend, I just haven't talked to her because she moved, but Rachel Moore, who at the time was much bigger than me, and she did Game Control, and I got her to agree to be a part of that network that I was trying to start, and that's how we became friends. And that was before I'd started my channel. And I remember trying to friend request her or something on Xbox 360, because it was back then. And she didn't have any friends opening. She had no openings because so many people had friend requested her. And I was like, man, that's so weird. That's such a wild thing. And then I started to have that happen where people found out my username, and I started getting bombarded with friend requests, which was such a crazy thing that I never thought I'd experience. And it was cool, and then it was not good in the sense of I realized I was trying to create lore videos and all these other videos that were a little more serious, and then I'd be recording footage of my gameplay, and there'd be messages popping up and stuff like that. So it was just like an interesting thing I never thought would happen to me, and just the sorts of things that I got to do have just been incredible. So I thank you guys again, and just the fact that I make content that people choose to watch. I know I've said that before, but as someone who likes making things, and ultimately that's really what I like. I love video games, but I also love creating things and making things. And the fact that people actually choose to and want to watch things I make, I don't think I could ever be more thankful for that as someone who makes things and knows how difficult that is to have something you make and present it to someone and actively wanting to watch it, or not just doing it because it's a favor. Something that I always did with my channel is I refused to share my videos on Facebook with friends unless it was something really big. Maybe I would post it. I would tweet it out, but I kind of figured my Twitter was more of an extension of my YouTube channel in a way, but I wouldn't bug friends to watch it. I just sort of figured if people wanted to, they'd find it. I didn't do as much advertising as I should, except for maybe on Reddit at the beginning. But again, those were communities of people who already liked the thing I was talking about. And I just appreciate that people actually want to watch the content I created. So again, thank you so much. It's just, I never thought I would hit it. Something interesting that I think is different for me compared to a lot of people that I've seen hit 100,000 subscribers is that my channel has been on a decline for a while now. Ever since Dark Souls 3, really. My channel hit around 94,000 subscribers around that time, back when Dark Souls 3 came out. And every year I've maybe got like 1,000 subscribers since then. So what was interesting for me too is when I finally got this thing, interestingly, it was more of a feeling of relief than anything else, of like I finally made it, because by that point it was like years of just trying so hard, and because I've tried to branch away from software stuff, it was so difficult. Also, shout out to Kingsfield. I think I forgot to say that, but Kingsfield's so good. It's so cool meeting other people who actually like Kingsfield, because that felt like such a niche. So thank you for that. Having people to connect with about Kingsfield has been so cool. Hitting that 100,000 mark was just this sense of relief. I mean, like I made it. I hit this milestone I set for myself, and this goal that I set after I started my channel for a little bit. But it's also different for me in the sense of I'm at the point with this channel where I think most people, when they hit 100,000 subscribers, that's like the turning point of I can do this full time. Whereas for me, I feel like my channel's gone in a different direction, where it's, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, it's been a side job I've done, or a side hustle, or something I've done for fun as a hobby. But it never really took off to the point where I could do it full time. And the one time it was starting to, you couldn't make as much money on YouTube, so I still was like making way under minimum wage and just barely scraping by. So it's become a side thing, which is why videos are so infrequent for me, but which is unfortunate, but also means a number of other things, which is kind of the direction my channel is going in, which is what I also wanted to talk about. Shifting gears, I'm trying to make this a transition. I figured it'd be worth talking about the super shows, and that's probably going to be in the title here, which is that I started this side channel that you guys might know, and it's an experiment for Super Dave Control, where I weekly post all my super shows and start posting new ones on it. And part of the reason I did the experiment was to see if I could get more viewers and people not like unsubscribing, just because I post a super show and something that's not from software, basically. And just have an audience of people who like that style of content. As for me, that has been the most exciting stuff to make. I'm really passionate about it. I love creating things. But also, the other flip side of it is it takes 100 to 200 hours to make those videos. And I'm not a fan of editing. A lot of the jokes you see that are animation jokes and the big editing jokes I do, those are things that I put in there. Sometimes I write them in, and sometimes it's as I'm editing, it's just to keep me entertained and crack me up, because I don't like editing, and that's the biggest part of the process. I like writing, I like creating, and for me, the most rewarding part is the final product that I get to be like, this was my vision, this is the thing that I wanted to create. Things that I did, like riding horseback in Red Dead Redemption 2. Things I did like rock climbing for Breath of the Wild. I had those visions months before I finally put those in the video, where I'd be on a run, have the idea, listen to music for inspiration, and just be like, oh, I want to make this, I want to make this, I want to make this. And it was so cool to finally do that. And that for me is the reward, to have that finished product. But there's a lot of things that I want to make. In particular, like I said, I love creating and making things. And the Super Dave Control channel, in a way for me, was my last attempt to see if I could make these series a success. And it just hasn't been. Part of it might be because I'm not great with thumbnails or titles, which are a big part of getting people to click in the first place. With the Super Dave Control channel in particular, I think part of it might also be that I didn't consider before, that if I had people subscribe to this channel who were already subscribed to me, they would have already seen these videos and not be as inclined to watch the video or click on it or watch the whole thing, which I think sends a message to YouTube not to spread these videos, which is fine and super understandable. Why would you watch a video you've already watched before another time unless you really, really want to? I get it. But I think there was that aspect as well. And for me, it's kind of just the reality of that this series and these videos aren't a success. And I've known that for a while, but I kept on hoping that maybe with each of these videos, I try to make them the best video I could possibly make. Every single video, I've gone into the super shows thinking like, I'm going to make this the best video I can make. Rewrite the script until I'm super happy with it. Try new things out. Try to throw in all the bells and whistles, big giant sketches, like I said, riding horses, animation, things like that, to try to make it the best thing I can make. And I just kept hoping that maybe just one of them would take off and that would bring the rest of them up with it. But that never happened. And you know what they say is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And clearly the results have spoken for themselves, which is that this series just isn't working. So I have a couple more that I haven't released yet, or maybe one more. I don't know if another super show is going up first or this video that I've been in the middle of. And then I'm going to do a big giant finale one that I've been working on for a couple of years now at this point, with writing it and ideation and working on special effects and things like that, and props, which you can see behind me that I now have, like those shovels behind me that you can see for a big Shovel Knight spectacular finale. And I think, unfortunately, that unless something happens and somehow those videos just blow up magically, and I have a lot of ideas of other ones I want to make. I think for me, it's time to move on from those and say, sometimes shows go too long. They run their course. And I think that the super shows have run their course. And that's fine. And it's not a bad thing. It's just time to move on to the next big projects, which is exciting in its own way. I'm almost out of battery, so I'll wrap up with the future of this channel. Basically, I'm going to finish those final ones. And then kind of the issue that I've run into is now that I work for GameSpot, a couple things are, one is that there's always the issue of a conflict of interest when you work for a network like that. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be able to make, but I think I'll probably be able to finally finish the Kingsfield lore videos because I promised that I want to do it. I also want to do more of those design breakdown videos that I've done that are just those long, hour-long retrospectives like I did on Dark Souls. I really like making those, and I find them interesting. So I'd like to do more of that type of content. Elden Ring, I don't know yet what I'd be able to do because I'm going to be making Elden Ring content for GameSpot. And speaking of which, I've made a lot of content for GameSpot that I'm really proud of at this point, and I'll share a playlist below. And I have a playlist on my channel of content I've made for GameSpot, so it's really easy for you to find the ones that I've made. The other thing with GameSpot was that my dream, essentially for the past few years, or for maybe longer, has been either to do YouTube full-time and then make creative projects on the side like a video game or a film, or make video games or film full-time and then make YouTube stuff on the side. And right now, because of GameSpot, you could essentially say that YouTube is now my full-time job, which is sick and super cool. But I have these other projects I've been really wanting to make. I really want to make a video game, and I've been teaching myself Unity, which is also part of why I haven't been posting as much. And I have so many ideas, like Kingsfield I was talking about. I was thinking to myself, like, I really want to see another Kingsfield game. I really want that. Wait a second, why don't I make another Kingsfield game that's not Kingsfield, but inspired by the things I love about Kingsfield? Because I'm not seeing that. And I want to see that, so I should make it, as opposed to just wishing it to be. And there's other games that I've had in my mind that I've been wanting to make for such a long time. And like, I played Hollow Knight finally a couple years ago, and I look at that game with a sense of jealousy in that I wish I made it. And it's such a good game, and I wish I'd been a part of the process of making something like that. Similarly, I have a horror film I really want to make that I started writing, and other films. So I think for me, a lot of my free time is going to go towards these larger creative projects. And then I have GameSpot full-time, which at least right now, which is amazing, and hopefully I can still make some content for this channel. But the main thing is, if I make content on this channel, I want to make sure that it's good, and it remains that high-quality bar that I try to have for videos on this channel. So I never want to post stuff just to post stuff. Although I would like to do a Let's Play of Elden Ring. We'll see if that can happen or not, but here or on Dave Control Play, that'd be a lot of fun because I always enjoy those discussions and videos with you guys. So anyways, that's the state of things. I just want to be completely honest about everything and where things are at. I wish I could say that this channel was blowing up with 100,000 and that I could just dive into it and make all the content, but that's just not the case. But I still really appreciate this, and it really means a lot to me. I know that some people poo-poo awards and things like that, or like milestones, but for me, it represents this goal and this thing that I've tried to get. And I have so many things I've done, like in karate, I have a little like thing because I got brown belt, but didn't quite get to black. I'm actually an Eagle Scout. But this accomplishment, more than anything, means so much to me. This is the only one of everything I've done in terms of those larger, broader, long-term accomplishments I truly feel like I earned, and I truly feel proud of. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys for more videos, either here or at GameSpot. And again, thank you. Thank you guys so much for everything. And I'll see you guys in another video. I know I already said that and I just repeated it, but I don't know how to wrap this up. I'm going to do it now. Bye.